What's that?
I don't know, sweetheart.
Dad! Dad! Dad!
Is that real?
आप लोगों को नजर आ रहे हैं?
T20 World Cup. We got to check this out.
This is the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Out of this world.
Days out in the Men's World Cup here in America and the West Indies. It's so surreal being in Times Square. A lot of fans come along. So we're very excited. As I said, 100 days to go. Hopefully you can get online and get your tickets and come down and watch the game.
How's it being in Times Square promoting a Cricket World Cup? To sort of describe the experience here.
It's a different type of experience, but it's great to be here. Obviously, it's a little chilly for me, but I'm happy for the opportunity. I think the Cricket World Cup is going to be a fantastic tournament. And here in New York, for the first time, you will have some of the greatest players in the world competing against each other in a fantastic tournament. So happy to be a part of this journey, and it's going to be history created.
What do you think the response will be like in the US to the World Cup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy because there's such a big cricket following here in the US. Not only by the Asian following, but also Caribbean people as well. So it's going to be a great success, and I personally looking forward to it. I think it's about time that cricket definitely make its mark here in the US, and for the people who are not able to travel to see their favorite players, they get the opportunity now here in the US to experience it firsthand.
And just for maybe people who are less familiar, like the India-Pakistan, like how big is that game that's coming to New York?
Yeah, I think that I was just having breakfast with my friend this morning, and I said to him that game is like Barcelona versus Real Madrid. It's even bigger than the Ashes. So people getting to see India versus Pakistan here in the US, it's like a dream come true for so many fans. And I'm sure that there's definitely one game. It's going to be chaos to get tickets. So hopefully you guys build a stadium that can accommodate such a craze for following.
And how would you, to someone who's new to cricket, how would you maybe describe that experience of going to that sort of environment in an India-Pakistan game?
Yeah, you have to be there to experience that craziness, but it's like, when from a US point of view, the people who follow the Super Bowl or the NBA or something like that, it's a game you don't want to miss. It's definitely a game you don't want to miss, hence the reason why it's so big and it's always play around ICC events. So I know the queue again is going to be a hassle to get tickets, but try and get up, line up early. And hopefully you're one of the lucky ones to get a ticket for that game.
And what are you looking forward to most about the T20 World Cup?
The fact that it's being co-host between the Caribbean and the US, it's good for cricket, it's good for us as a people. we will be able to put on a show that we can showcase to the world, that we are able to host events such as big as a World Cup. And from past experience, a lot of cricketers enjoy coming to the Caribbean and playing, and also now that it's in the US, we as players also enjoy coming to the US and playing cricket. So America is a dream, and everyone will love to have a foot in America. So it's good that it's being hosted between two nations, and we are happy that I'm able to contribute towards the growth and development of cricket in the US.
And what describe the
All right, Liam, what's it like being in Times Square promoting a World Cup, and how's your experience been today?
Yeah, it's very surreal, very, very surreal. I never thought as a child I'd be in Times Square promoting cricket, promoting the World Cup. I don't live too far away now, so it's not that uncommon that I come to New York, but obviously to promote cricket here, it's very exciting.
And what do you think the response will be to the World Cup in the US?
What do I think the response will be to the World Cup? I think it'd be great. A bit like the Soccer World Cup when that was in USA a while back. I think it's going to get a lot of eyes on. A lot of new faces are going to get introduced to cricket, and I think they'll enjoy it. I'm not cricket biased too much, but a lot more runs are scored in cricket than baseball. So hopefully we can broadcast that and show that, and people will get excited by it.
And what are you looking forward to most about the World Cup?
I think just watching the best teams in the world, the best players in the world come and play in the USA and in the West Indies. A lot of people who live here don't get the chance to watch the best players live. They did so a little bit last year in Major League, but also with the new facility getting built here, it's going to be amazing for locals to watch the best players in the world.
How about the England team? How do you think they're looking ahead of the World Cup?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't amazing the last World Cup, but I think they're going to regroup themselves. They've got amazing players, they've got match winners, and obviously I've got every faith in England coming up and putting in some good performances, and hopefully we'll be there to lift the trophy at the end.
And which country do you think will win the World Cup?
Depending on what the wickets are going to be like. It's very tricky because no one's seen the wickets in New York yet. The wickets in Dallas were pretty good, and obviously in the West Indies they can vary. But I've got to back England as well. It's a toss-up. I'm going to go with England, India, Australia. I can give you a handful, but I'm going with England.
And who do you think the leading run scorer will be, and why?
I think it's going to be Hendrik Klaassen, sorry. Obviously shows his class the last few years. He's been one of the best players in the world. He also played in MLC last year, got used to the wickets there in Dallas. I've got a feeling that he might be a top run scorer.
And leading wickets.
Like I said, it's been a great experience here to see so many people come out to share in the game that we love. I mean, cricket is played all across the world. It's loved by billions of fans. For us in the West Indies, where I'm from, it's not just a sport for us. It's part of our identity. It's part of our culture. And when you come to New York and see people embracing it just as much as you would in the West Indies, it's very heartwarming. It's reassuring for the game too as well. You can tell what come June 1, what the fans will what the attendance will be like and what the atmosphere will be. Well, I'm looking forward to the game growing. I want to see cricket being played in every community in the USA. It's a big part of our culture in the West Indies and the rest of the world, and we want to share with the sport that we love with all the many people in the USA as well. I'm also looking forward to great cricket being played. It's the first time it's going to be played in the USA. There are teams who are very excited to come to this part of the world to play cricket matches. So it's going to be a wonderful month of cricket. And also, having this tournament in the USA, it gives us an opportunity to showcase to everyone here what cricket is to us and what all the activity that goes around cricket. So while you have matches playing on the field, there's so much going to be happening around the stadium on match day, on non-match days. And it's something to behold. It's like no other sport in the world.
And how are the preparations going for the venues across the US?
It's going very well. As you know, we're building a 34,000-seater stadium in Eisenhower Park in Long Island. That started a couple of weeks ago and it's progressing very well. By the end of April, we'll have a 34,000-seater stadium ready to go. In Dallas, they're doing some temporary work, putting a few more seats in there to bring the stadium up to our world-class standards and ICC standards as well. And in Florida, they're doing quite a bit of work. They're increasing the capacity of the stadium as well to have more people be able to watch the game as well. And it's progressing very nicely. There's a lot more work being done at practice facilities and the pitch and outfield. So it's going to be 3 venues that meets not only ICC standard, but it'll meet a standard that allow the best cricket to be played.
And for fans of sports in the US who might not be familiar with T20 cricket, what's special about T20 cricket you think will work in the US?
Well, T20 cricket for us is the shortest format of the game. It's very exciting, it's very fast-paced, it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of excitement. And anyone who comes to watch that cricket will feel the energy of the game. There's balls that's flying everywhere out of the stadium. So it's going to be a very dynamic and energizing game.
And you're going to be in Texas, Florida, and in New York. Fans still looking to get tickets. What do they need to do? How can they get involved?
Well, right now tickets are unavailable, but we expect in a few weeks' time, more tickets to be released into the system as well. There's a certain amount of allocation that's being reserved for our sponsors, but we anticipate in coming weeks that'll be released into the system. So if people are unfortunate and they weren't able to get tickets for the game, keep checking, keep going on the website, keep looking for tickets. Some will become available, but you just have to be diligent.
And tell us about the demand for India versus Pakistan and what that means in the world of cricket and how big a sporting event that is.
The India versus Pakistan match is one of the biggest matches that you can have in cricket. The attendance and the viewership for that game is bigger than a Super Bowl. We have in the last tournament over 1 billion people looking at that game. Being in New York now, it's going to be even bigger than that too as well. So we expect a lot of people to be watching that game. We expect a lot of excitement. The matches from the time we put it on sale through the ballot system is being sold out 200 times over. So it's going to be a very massive game here, especially being in the USA and in New York.
Awesome. That's all I got.
Thank you. single day. We used to go to work. After college, I took on sports management. And the 2007 World Cup came around. I was approached by the government at that time to help organize the sport. I got my foot in the door in 2007. I did transportation. I just arranged a bus for the event. And after that, I kept getting the opportunity to work in World Cups. And here I am now in 2024.
Do you enjoy the job?
Director. It's a wonderful job. It's very dynamic. You meet a lot of people like yourself from all parts of the world. It's very exciting. Like I said, you meet a whole bunch of different people from all parts of the world. And it's very dynamic. It changes every day. Every tournament is different. It's unique. We hosted a Women's World Cup in 2018. We hosted a Under-19 World Cup in 2022. And now we have the Men's World Cup again. So it's a great job.
So you said you started playing when you were 13?
No, I stopped playing when I was 13. I mean, I played from the day you were born. For us, cricket, like I said, is a big part of our culture. So you played from the time you were born. And I played it competitively until I was 13. And unfortunately, in those times, you either have to choose cricket or school. So we chose school. Right now, it's a great opportunity for children. They have the best of both worlds. You can play cricket professionally and still pursue your academic.
So a lot of kids here, because cricket is not involved in school itself, they have trouble balancing out schoolwork and practice. So with sports like basketball, volleyball, they have practice right after school and they can leave school early for games. But for us, games are on the weekends or like we have to take days off from school, which are not excused. So what advice would you give kids who are trying to balance it out? Like their parents are yelling at them for their grades and all of that stuff too.
That's the same problem I had when I was 13 as well. We didn't have school as a part of the curriculum. We had to shoot school and cricket. Now cricket is more accessible. I think it's about finding that perfect balance, and it's very difficult, like you said, with it not being part of the curriculum. So just finding a club that works for you, that has a flexible time, and you can continue to train. If you like cricket enough, it's going to be a challenge to make sure that you can balance both, but it's something that I do think everybody should pursue and find ways to be able to play the sport despite the challenges. I mean, the reason why we bring this World Cup here is simply because we become more aware. You know, cricket is big in every part of the world. It's not so big in the USA, but it'll get there. And bringing this World Cup here will expose a lot more people to cricket. They'll see why we love the game so much. And hopefully that means the youngsters, they'll be embraced in the school. One of our plans is to try to get cricket into the school. So hopefully after this tournament, it'll become a lot more easier for anybody who wants to play cricket at a young age. You don't have to choose between going to school or playing cricket. I mean, I don't want anybody to not go to school, but hopefully it'll become part of the curriculum and get an opportunity to play cricket at school.
You've kind of answered a lot of my questions. So about the capacity in a lot of the games. So for example, India-Pakistan got sold out. Almost all of India's games are sold out. USA games got sold out too. So there are any plans to like maybe expand capacity or anything like that?
No, unfortunately there's no plan to expand capacity. It's very hard to increase the size of the stadium, especially in such a short time. We spent years planning on how to build the stadium and getting the permits and all the necessary. It's very difficult to do that. But the games are actually not sold out. The tickets are unavailable. So right now we have a certain allocation of tickets that are out to the public. That's small. But sponsors will hold some tickets back, and hopefully, if they don't utilize the ticket, it goes back into the pool. So it's not a lot of tickets, but currently there's not available. But hopefully, maybe in a month's time, you'll have a few tickets that will come back on this time.
Maybe you get a lot of few for the youth, for the youth to play?
But no, we have that. We want to make sure that children have the opportunity to play cricket too. I'm sorry, not play cricket, but watch the sport as well. So there's a certain allotment for tickets to bring children into the game too as well. There's a team here in the USA that's working on all that stuff too. So I gladly put you in contact with them to see how you can make sure that your school has some tickets as well.
Thank you.
And that's a big part for us. We want to make sure that children have the opportunity to see the sport, to get to love it just like we do in the West Indies and the rest of the world too. And they can adapt it here. So at the end of the tournament, they'll find a cricket club and they'll play some matches.
Because they are the future of the game, so.
Of course. I mean, that's the whole reason why we do this too. We want to encourage children. That's our primary objective, is going to sport. That's ICC's motto, if you want to say that, is just to grow in sport. And the only way you can do that is bringing children into the game.
Okay, thank you so much. That's
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Great job.
Sorry. Okay, so first things first, what inspired you to introduce cricket to New York? Like what got you involved with cricket in general?
My love for sports, first of all. I'm part of the PSAL, which is Public School Athletic League, the largest sports league in the whole country. And we have every sport you could think of, but we didn't have cricket. So my co-worker said, why not cricket? And we started 17 years ago. And the good thing about having cricket is the student athletes that play cricket, they don't play any other sport. And if we don't have high school cricket, we won't have cricket big in America. Every major sport, they start from high school. I remember when the NBA used to draft players from high school. Basketball players used to come directly from high school to the pros. So high school cricket is very, very important if we're going to make it in this country as a major sport. And I think we will. With the Olympics coming up, with the World Cup here, we'll definitely make it in this country.
So in Jersey, a lot of kids, cricket is not part of Jersey schools at all. So what advice would you give to people who are trying to bring it into schools?
Okay, the parents and the coaches have to get involved. They sign petitions, go to the various schools, ask for cricket. If the population is there for it, I'm sure they'll do it. New York City is it's a melting pot. We have every nation, everyone here in New York. So, the population is definitely there.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm 16 and I play cricket in Jersey.
Yep.
So I know that being a junior in high school, it's really difficult for me to balance cricket and my school, because my parents, they won't let me play if I don't keep my grades up as well. So I have to balance it out. And I know that you played cricket when you were young as well. So how did you balance that? What advice would you give to kids who are trying to balance it out?
Where I grew up in England, I didn't play much cricket at school. So I played club cricket, probably similar to yourself. So there's plenty of times I practiced a couple of times a week, and then play on a weekend. I still had time to do my studies. I wasn't a kid who really practiced every night. At that age, at your age, I don't think you need to do that. Once or twice a week is great for practice, and then obviously play on the weekend. Still plenty of time to do your studies.
Okay, and then with cricket growing in America and the World Cup here as well, and also cricket, it's going to be a part of the Olympics as well. So how do you think it's going to develop further or grow in America?
I think it'll keep growing now. When I came across 2 years ago to start with the Major League, I never experienced cricket here. I didn't realize there were so many cricketers in the Philadelphia area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. A lot of kids play cricket, a lot of club cricket. And obviously minor league now, major league now. And with the World Cup happening this year, I think people who've never seen cricket are going to realize how big it is. Especially when you see the World Cup here and you get crowds coming to watch the games and sell out. I think I mentioned earlier, if you had Virat Kohli and Baba Azam and LeBron James here, you'd have queues next to Virat and Baba, and probably longer than LeBron James. But it's going to keep growing. Hopefully we can get in the school system. By 2028, that's people go to class to play cricket.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, hi. So how are you involved in cricket in general? Like what do you do for cricket?
I'm a full-time coach. I coach one of the academy in Queens, which is called Queens United Cricket Academy. And also I do coach in New Jersey, which is called the North New Jersey Cricket Academy.
Okay. What are your credentials? What did you do to become a coach?
I completed my level 1 with the ICC and level 2 with the Cricket Australia in Australia, and level 4 in South Africa.
Okay. So with cricket, with the World Cup in America now, how do you see it growing in general?
The last 4 or 5 years, if you look at it, cricket is growing, and especially in New York and New Jersey areas, a lot more children, those who are born and brought up here, actually getting involved in the cricket.
Okay, that's good. Is there anything else?
This is the champion DJ Bravo. We are here in Times Square. 100 days to go. It's happening in every city. So check it out. All right, so again, the countdown officially began today. 100 days to go. ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Champion is here in Times Square. Champion, champion. Everybody knows say win is a champion. Sing. Champion, champion. Let's see who's going to be the next champion. But my team is West Indies, so 2 times champions, and we're looking forward to a trophy.
What's about Bangladesh?
Balabashi, 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 yeah. All the best to Bangladesh, all the best to Pakistan, all the best to India, all the best to New Zealand, Australia, England, West Indies, every team that is taking part in the World Cup. I wish them all the very best. Okay?
Thank you.
Good.
We all love you.
Thank you, sir.
How's it being in Times Square promoting a Cricket World Cup? Sort of describe the experience here.
It's a different type of experience, but it's great to be here. Obviously, it's a little chilly for me, but I'm happy for the opportunity. I think the Cricket World Cup is going to be a fantastic tournament. And here in New York for the first time, you will have some of the greatest players in the world competing against each other in a fantastic tournament. So happy to be a part of this journey, and it's going to be history created.
What do you think the response will be like in the US to the World Cup?
Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy because there's such a big cricket following here in the US. Not only by the Asian following, but also Caribbean people as well. So it's going to be a great success, and I personally looking forward to it. I think it's about time that cricket definitely make its mark here in the US, and for the people who are not able to travel to see their favorite players, they get the opportunity now here in the US to experience it firsthand.
And just for maybe people who are less familiar, like the India-Pakistan, like how big is that game that's coming to New York?
Yeah, I think that I was just having breakfast with my friend this morning, and I said to him that game is like Barcelona versus Real Madrid. It's even bigger than the Ashes. So people getting to see India versus Pakistan here in the US, it's like a dream come true for so many fans. And I'm sure that there's definitely one game. It's going to be chaos to get tickets. So hopefully you guys build a stadium that can accommodate such a craze for following.
How would you, to someone who's new to cricket, how would you maybe describe that experience of going to that sort of environment in an India-Pakistan game?
Yeah, you have to be there to experience that craziness, but it's like, from a US point of view, the people who follow the Super Bowl or the NBA or something like that, it's a game you don't want to miss. It's definitely a game you don't want to miss, hence the reason why it's so big and it's always play around ICC events. So I know the queue again is going to be a hassle to get tickets, but try and get up, line up early. And hopefully you're one of the lucky ones to get a ticket for that game.
And what are you looking forward to most about the T20 World Cup?
The fact that it's being co-host between the Caribbean and the US, it's good for cricket, it's good for us as a people. We'll be able to put on a show that we can showcase to the world that we are able to host events such as big as a World Cup. And from past experience, a lot of cricketers enjoy coming to the Caribbean and playing, and also know that it's in the US. We as players also enjoy coming to the US and playing cricket. So America is a dream, and everyone will love to have a foot in America. So it's good that it's being hosted between two nations, and we are happy that I'm able to contribute towards the growth and development of cricket in the US.
Describe the vibe, what it's going to be like in the Caribbean.
Party. It's every island is going to have a kind of carnival atmosphere. So anyone who's coming to the Caribbean never experienced carnival before, you'll have the opportunity to experience it for the first time. We as a people are very laid back, very chill, beautiful beaches, food, music, nightlife, everything. So it's going to be a fantastic tournament, and it just can't wait for it to get started, to be honest.
And where do you think the West Indies team's at now with their preparations?
I think West Indies team have a very good chance, and this is not like. Honestly, I believe that this current group of players is one of the better squads that put together in a long time. And I believe they have a very good chance. So the people in the Caribbean definitely go out in their numbers and support them. And obviously, just like any other team, winning a trophy is very important. And from speaking from experience, winning the World Cup on 2 occasions is one of the best feelings in my entire career. So it's going to be a great tournament, a fantastic tournament, and may the best team win.
The rest of the stuff. Who will be the leading run scorer and why?
The leading run scorer in the World Cup, I will go with my current favorite player at the moment, Nicholas Pooran. I believe that he has the ability to score big runs, and he's, the form that he's in, and the experience he has gained over the years. And again, a player who can play spin, play fast bowling, and very used to Caribbean conditions. So I will go with Nicholas Pooran.
Which young player will announce themselves on a grand scale at the T20 World Cup?
Which young player? There are so many young, talented players out there. Let me see. Shubman Gill, maybe, I think, is one that definitely will have a good tournament. But I don't know. Hopefully, India team is so hard to pick, so hopefully he gets it. But I will go with Gill.
Which player from a previous era would you have loved to have seen play T20 cricket and why?
Which player? Previous player?
Yeah.
Who has not played?
A player that, and try and include it in your answer, which player from a previous era would you have loved to have seen play T20 cricket and why?
Brian Lara. Which player I would love to see play T20 cricket? Brian Charles Lara. I would have loved to see the King play this format.
Name one international T20 player and a quick word on them when you hear the following words. I'll just say words at you, I'll say the word, and then the first player that comes to mind and why.
Oh, the first, okay.
So, entertainer.
Chris Gayle.
So
Chris Gayle,
entertainer.
Entertainer, Chris Gayle. He's an entertainer, everything he does, and I think the fans can also agree with that.
Cover drive.
Cover drive, I think about Virat Kohli, because it's no secret he has the best cover drive in the world.
Pull shot.
Pull shot, I will go with Rohit Sharma. Again, he's known for being one of the best players of short bowling, and that's his pet shot, so Rohit Sharma.
Reverse sweep.
Reverse sweep, I will go with Glenn Maxwell. Someone who can play that reverse sweep like a forward defensive shot, so I will go with Maxwell.
Fast bowler.
Fast bowler, I will go with that one is challenging. I will go with Justin Bumrah, and also I will go with Mark Wood. So those two I will put. Yeah.
Big sixes.
Big sixes, Andrew Russell. J. Russ, West Indian, powerful, one of the best in the game. So definitely Andrew Russell.
Finisher.
Finisher, well, he's retired now, but I think about MS Dhoni. So but he's not playing at the moment, so yeah, I'll just stick with MS as a finisher.
Banter.
Banter. Who do I think about banter? David Warner. Someone who strives on banter, who a very feisty cricketer, but someone who's very successful in his own way. So I'll go with David Warner.
Intense.
Intense. An intense cricketer? I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. I can't answer that one. Out of this world.
One more for luck.
Out of this world. This is the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Out of this world. Tickets for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup is on sale now. So go get the tickets. Don't miss the chance to be a part of a great event. Tickets is on sale for the ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup. It's out now. Don't miss it. Go get a ticket. And here is how you can get involved. 100 days to go. This is the champion DJ Bravo, the countdown starts as we get ready for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. We are here with the fans. See it? Times Square, 100 days to go. All right, ICC, Men's T20 World Cup.
What's that?
I don't know, sweetheart.
Dad! Dad! Dad!
Is that real?
आप लोगों को नजर आ रहे हैं?
T20 World Cup. We got to check this out.